center where they ship stuff by using local trucks, while outside states deliver things to them. And then local trucks pick up stuff and get them delivered to stores that aren't far away. That's what that distribution center does. I've been to Texas once. Oh, yes. I've been to Laredo, just along the coast, just on the border of Mexico. The first time I've been to so far was Texas, Laredo, Texas, along the border of Mexico. There's a terminal that my trucking company that they have over there. They inspect trailers and they also have loads like coolers. And some coolers have to be chained, some of them have to be strapped, and they have weird boards on edges. But if they don't have put boards on edges, they get chained. Yes. What, because of how secure loads and what we I actually do so that I'm legal. No problem. That's the value of being a truck driver. Actually, a hot driver. That's what I was trying to do.
I pay my truck driver. I'll tell you about later.
Okay. Never heard. Here, just. Well, good morning, everybody. It's so quiet in here today. What is happening?
The gong.
I know, right? Usually everybody's talking and we're having to call them in from the community room. And today it was like everybody just in here calm. It must be the gong that Deb was playing for us. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to Unity today. I am Michael, and whether you are joining in person or online, we're very happy to have you with us today. And is there anyone who is joining for the first time? If you would like to raise your hand or announce yourself, feel free to, and there's no obligation to do so either.
I'm Nate. This is my wife, Wendy.
Nate and Wendy, correct? Good to have you here.
This is my second time, but.
Good
Morning, Lou.
to have you. All right, anybody else? All right. If you didn't notice, excuse me, Unity Center of Des Moines is a diverse community committed to living a positive spiritual path. We welcome you just as you are and recognize that each person is on their own unique journey. When you came in this morning out in the entryway, there are Unity welcome packets. So if it's your first time here or your second time here and you want to pick up another Unity welcome packet, feel free to pick that up. There are also contact sheets on that table if you want to be added to the newsletter. I believe there are also prayer request forms out there. So if you have a prayer request, you could list that on that form as well, the contact sheet and the prayer request. If you have those, if you complete those, you can put them in this wooden box back here under the orange painting. And we will reach out if we have any questions on those.
And it's confidential.
Yes, and it's confidential. Excuse me, I should have gotten a drink before I came up here this morning. With that, let's start off with a beginning song today. There is only love.
There is only Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you very much, Susan and Deb, and everybody for your wonderful voices this morning. Before we get into announcements, since we just sang a song, I think maybe we should sing another song. We'll get into celebrations here. And the first one that we have is that it is our very own Mia's birthday tomorrow. Let us all sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful time celebrating today. And sounds like they're going bowling. They're going to be doing some bowling today, so that should be fun. Along with that, I'm just going to piggyback right on that. It's my dad's 81st birthday today.
Yeah.
So,
Happy birthday, Dad.
yes, he's down in Arizona. Usually I'm down there with them celebrating, but this year I'm going to wait another week or so before I go down. So, and Susan, you have a celebration?
I do. Continuing the adventure of my daughter, Sarah. So she's been on this quest to be able to really reinvent herself through that feeling of spiritual, physical, and mental health. And so she is involved in some kind of opportunity to be a representative of that. And so people are voting for her online, and Unity has been one of those places where you can log in and say, hey, Sarah LeBlanc, here's my vote for you. And if she becomes the top one, she goes and gets a cover of her magazine. And then some abundance. So she wants to be of service as a consultant and counselor. So it's very special for us. Anyway, she's in the top 10.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, keep voting. Yeah, that was my message.
And it sounds like each week she keeps moving up.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Are there any other celebrations anybody wants to disclose or
I have one.
speak today?
So I lost my kitty, my beloved Miss Molly. But then I found this new kitty that I named Lilu. And she is just a bundle of joy and energy and kittenhood that I haven't experienced for decades. And it's just a duality of joy and loss. And she's fitting right in. And I'm extremely grateful for her coming into our lives. Yeah.
All right. Any other celebrations this morning? All right. We are going to move on then to some announcements. So the registration is open for the art fair, which is March 14th. So if you haven't put that on your calendar, put that down on your calendar. Promo flyers are on the red table out in the atrium, straight out the doors here. You can please take a few of those, pass them out if you need some ideas of where to pass those out or where those can be pinned on different bulletin boards and different things. There's a printout of places for you to look at in order to do that. The second of the 3 new member classes, the Intro to Unity classes, will happen today at noon. It's in the red room upstairs. We had a good class last week, so this will be the second one, and we will finish it up next week. Special events this week. So the details of these and the pricing, if applicable, are on the calendar at unitydesmoines.com. But today, 22nd at 2 p.m., we have the 222 Portal Sound Bath with Deb Jennings. And this is a heart-guided donation event. It starts at 2 today, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So get settled by 1:50.
Right. Yeah, get in here early and get settled so everything can start at 2 o'clock. That would be great. Tuesday, the 24th at 6 p.m., Mia is having her spiritual guidance and support meeting, and that is a donation-based offering. And then next Saturday on the 28th, it's going to be the Venus Love Portal Ecstatic Dance with Attica Road, who is actually sitting in the front row today and is going to be doing our special music for us today. So that'll be a treat. Thank you very much. And the regular events, you can look at unitydesmoines.com to get all of those events that are out there. We are truly a co-creating community, and we want to hear your suggestions. So if you have any suggestions for us, feel free to write those down, put those in that box in the back as well. If you're not quite sure, if you have a sheet that you filled out, whether it's contact form or it's prayer request form, whether it is a suggestion, that box back there will basically do the trick for everything.
Yes.
All right. And with that, let's read our statement of faith today.
There is only one power active in my life and in the universe, the divine source of all life and love.
And moving on, we'll read our unity affirmation. Everybody just take a nice deep breath here before we start. And then begin.
Unity of divine is the radiating center of divine light, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others.
And as you settle in now, we're going to move into a time of prayer. Make yourselves comfortable. Settle into the chair. Settle into your body. And just take a moment to take a few deep breaths in. Allow yourself to become centered in your own heart space. And then expanding out that heart space in a spirit of oneness, connecting deeper into yourself, connecting with those around you, and connecting with all that is. And these are the people that are in need of prayer this week. Akira, Elena, Ali, Annabelle, Ben, Brittany, Buddhist, Carla, Seal, Chad, Daniel, Dennis, Dave, Dawn, Jack, James, Jan, G, Jennifer, Jesse, Julie, Karen, Carrie, Kim and family, Christina, Laura, Larry, Linda, Lynn and family, Marty, Mick and family, Muhammad, Matthew, Paul, Pam, Patrick, Peter, Rahima, Rob, Jasmine, Marie Enzo, Selma, Sheena, Scott, Skylar, Susan, Terry, and Victoria. And as always, all of the people, all of the individuals with struggles that we may know nothing about, we lift those up at this time.
And as we hold those people in our hearts in prayer, we'll go into meditation now. Prayer and meditation are two of the pillars of our unity principles that we put into active practice in our lives. Sink into the chair that you are in, fully support you. Michael already connected us with our heart and everything around us. So feel a part of that connection, of that oneness. And gently bring your awareness to your breath. Breathing in unconditional love for yourself. And as you breathe out, breathing out gratitude for this opportunity to come together and meditate today. Bringing that awareness to the heart center once again. Let it radiate love and light as you've connected with all that is. Let it fill your heart to overflowing. Letting that love and light flow to every cell in your body and the energy field around you. Any time during the day or night that you are feeling stress, anxiety, pressure, feeling out of balance, or even if you're feeling really wonderful, at any time you can pause, connect with your breath and with your heart, and enter a state of meditation for a few moments, or longer if you wish. Just continue to slowly breathe down, elongating the exhale. This allows our nervous systems to reset and regulate. And then some time in the silence is always very beneficial. Notice in the silence that you still hear sounds, perhaps. And spend that time in silence. Refill yourself. Feel that connection, giving you that love and light. And rest there for a moment. As you gently return from the silence, come back to that awareness of the breath. And as you expand that breath, this time we will breathe in that unconditional love and let it flow to everyone in this room, every heart in this room, and those who are joining us online. And as we breathe out gratitude for community, for the support and love we receive from our community, and that we are able to give to our community. And then take a deep centering breath from deep in your belly. And let that unconditional love flow all across the planet to all beings everywhere. May all beings be well, healthy, and happy, free from pain, suffering, and strife. And may they know peace and know that they can connect with that source of peace within them. And then breathe out gratitude. Gratitude for all that is. The native peoples of Canada have a word in their vocabulary for this, miigwech. It means to be grateful for absolutely everything, even when you can't find a blessing, when you're first finding yourself in a situation. Knowing and trusting that all is unfolding for our highest good and our soul's growth. And for that we give thanks, miigwech. And as you fully come back, take in the room with all of your senses, this beautiful room we are blessed to gather in each week and during the week for activities. Feeling balanced, aligned, centered, and grounded, relaxed, refreshed, restored, renewed, and rejuvenated. We are loved and we are grateful.
Thank you very much for that, Deb. This morning, we are going to take a moment and deviate from the daily word that we normally read. And we are going to do a reading in relation to Lent this morning. So this is the first Sunday of Lent. Lent started a few days ago on the 18th. And we are going to be reading from Release and Reimagine. This is provided by Unity itself. And I really liked, when I started doing this the other day, I really liked the way they described Lent. I grew up in a fundamental church. We really didn't do anything around Lent, but I had friends who were Catholic. And so I remember that their Lent was about, at least what I saw and observed, was about giving up something. And I remember them giving up things like chocolate. Maybe it was beer, something like that, right? So for the 6-week period leading up to Easter, that was my only frame of reference. As I began to read this earlier this week, it says, reimagine what life can be. Lent is more than a season of preparation for Easter. It's an invitation to transform ourselves. Easter reminds us of our own Christ nature, and Lent calls us to purification before Him. These weeks provide an opportunity to release thoughts that discourage us, habits that hinder us, and beliefs that keep our lives small. So with that, we are going to take a look at Sunday's reading. And Sunday's reading is titled Seeing Things Differently. And it was written by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. One of the greatest spiritual gifts we've been given is the ability to shift our perspective. Even when life doesn't unfold as we'd hoped, prayed, or planned, we are not powerless. We can choose to see things differently. We can reframe our experience by using a deeper spiritual lens. Lent invites us to release old stories and awaken to our divine faculties, especially the power of imagination. Imagination is not just for dreaming, it is for transforming. When ignited by faith and guided by love, imagination becomes a sacred faculty that empowers us to co-create a new reality. Rather than letting our imagination spiral into fear, worry, or regret, we can harness it to envision what is possible, even in the midst of adversity. There are times when disappointment cuts deep, plans unravel, prayers seem to go unanswered. In these moments, our human tendency may be to withdraw, to feel disheartened or defeated. Yet if we turn inward and listen in the silence of our hearts, a greater truth begins to emerge, that we are never alone. Spirit is always present, inviting us to see with new eyes. Jesus exemplified this during his crucifixion. Though betrayal and suffer awaited him, he never lost faith. He turned inward in prayer and leaned into his divine identity with courage, compassion, and surrender. He saw beyond the cross to the resurrection. His life teaches us that pain is never the final word. Transformation is. During this sacred season of Lent, we are called to cross out false beliefs and release error thoughts that keep us bound in separation. We are invited to return to what Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore called headquarters, the inner sanctuary where spirit dwells. In this stillness, we remember who we truly are: spiritual beings, whole and holy, endowed with the power to rise. This is our resurrection story, too. As we release outdated patterns and egoic attachments, we make room for the Christ light within us to shine. When we stop resisting what is and instead surrender into the moment of now, a new path opens. Acceptance isn't passive. It's the soil in which peace grows. Resistance keeps us stuck. Surrendering liberates us. Even in our darkest moments, we can find refuge in prayer, silence, and communion with God. We follow Jesus' example, not ignoring the chaos around us, but anchoring ourselves in divine truth. We remember that heaven is not a distant place, but a state of consciousness that we can embody here and now. Let this season be one of spiritual renewal. Let us release the need to control, the weight of disappointment, and the grip of fear. Instead, let us nurture our inner life with compassion, reflection, and unwavering faith. As we reimagine our lives through the eyes of spirit, we reclaim our power to transform. From separation to oneness, from grief to grace, from resistance to peace. And in doing so, we prepare our hearts for the miracle of Easter. And with that, we're going to have Susan and Deb lead us once again with the face of love.
You are the feast of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me. You are the face of love. Beautiful.
That is always a very beautiful song. I know we've done things before where we have sang that and we face one another and we sing those words and express those words to one another. And today, what came through, at least for me, was I wonder how many people out there are thinking of themselves as they sing this song. Because we need to remember ourselves in the equation of everything. All right, today we are going to have our very own Stevie Lane come forward, and she is going to be speaking to us on practical Christianity.
Thank you so much, Michael, for doing the celebration assistant role. It is a different experience sitting in the chair in the audience than it is being up here. So I'm grateful for that. And today, the topic being practical Christianity. It's a general term. That's what Unity Worldwide talks about us doing, where we're actually living those principles of love and faith and trust and divinity within. And in my own walk, I can really only truly speak about my own experience, but I also recognize that I am part of the oneness of every single one. So when I talk about my experience, I'm also talking about a piece of your experience. So I just invite you to take what you like, leave the rest, and there'll be a lot of invitations to go a little deeper in your own understanding, connection, and consciousness so that you have your own experience, whatever it may be. Because we do experience the world in our own unique way while also being part of everything else. So as I was prepping for this, a lot of scriptures came to mind, so many that I jumped around a lot. And I wanted to share that my upbringing, similar to Michael, although it wasn't the same religion, it was a literal study of scripture. So we read the Bible a lot. My father had a daily scripture reading every single morning at breakfast. We met in church groups 5 times a week. I mean, it was everything. I mean, you can't get into trouble. In fact, as I was growing up, my best friend got into some addiction problems, and it broke my heart when I felt like she didn't invite me. So years later in sobriety, I asked her, why didn't you ever invite me to go with you? Like, I don't know that I really wanted to do it, but like, you didn't even invite me. And she's like, well, I tried, but your dad came in and said you had some Bible study or something. So that's a little bit of my upbringing. And so in my walk, there was a time of life where I just completely turned my back on anything that even sounded remotely like the word God or the Bible, because when I read it, I just heard shame and condemnation and icky things. Um, just a lot of wounds from how had been raised, and then this feeling of falling short. So I couldn't, there was a time period I couldn't. I just, it was too much. But now I'm in a place where I call my yes and era. Recognizing that as we all walk our paths, as we all have our own experiences, there's certain things in life that are going to resonate more than others. And now, as I go back and read scriptures, they're familiar scriptures, they're phrases that I grew up with. I can acknowledge the gift of character, the gift of structure, the gift of love as my parents understood it. And I can leave out all the shame stuff can just drop away because that's not where my heart and my consciousness is at today. And what that allows me to do is like that song was, you are the face of love. It's to see the love in everyone, to see the goodness in everyone beyond whatever they're showing me, and to see my love reflected back in everyone that I interact with. It came to me this morning, actually, that there is not a challenge we face without a blessing along with it. In, I think it's Matthew chapter 5, some people call it the Beatitudes. It was, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. And I've been living that. This week, I mentioned that my cat passed away. And the way I've been describing it to people, right, wrong, or indifferent, the grief of my cat dying was actually hit me harder than my mother dying because she was my constant companion of unconditional love. But I feel like in that space, and also I had the longest relationship with her and she got me through the toughest years of my life. I imagine that as my heart broke, divine unconditional love filled in the cracks. And I've been more willing and able to receive love and give love from this just like melty place, surrender place, and accept all that is instead of resisting the process, trying to fight it. It's really been a beautiful thing. And then the way that this new little creature came in with all her unique personality, and I'm able to show up for her in a way that I haven't been able to with previous animals because of my experiences with my Miss Molly. So that's a way I'm integrating and really understanding that scripture. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. There's a scripture in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, that talks about don't worry because you don't. Oh, I'll just read it. I was going to paraphrase it like, what am I doing? It says, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet they are fed. Are you of not more value than they? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. And later on, it goes on to say, in Matthew chapter 10, verses 28 through 29, it says, do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, are not two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from the Father. And even the hairs of your head are all counted. So do not be afraid. You are of more value than sparrows. And I talk about my nature walks quite a bit because it is my gateway to God within my heart. It is my place of peace, my place where I feel the most loved and supported, and also the place where I see the cycles of life. As I read the scriptures now, where I see them talk about, like good and bad and this getting in and not getting in and all of that that's throughout the scriptures. I have another understanding of that now, being out in nature. And that is life is full of choices, this or that. Although we're all one, we have to choose an experience. We can maybe change our minds. In fact, not maybe, we can change our minds. We can try one thing and then try another thing and then try another thing. But life is full of choices. It's full of contrast. And all of it is present all of the time. In an earlier Lenten reading, it quoted Maya Angelou as saying, if we want something to change it. And if we can't change it, then change our attitude. And that has just been living on repeat in my brain now, because there are things that, well, I will back up. The message of it was to let go of complaining, because complaining, like worry, doesn't get you, it doesn't change anything, and it keeps you attached to the problem. It keeps you attached to the suffering. Whereas if we go, okay, in this, what can I change? And change it, work to change it, take baby steps to change it, love and accept ourselves exactly as we are, exactly where we are, meeting ourselves with love and compassion, take the step to change. Or say, there's nothing I can do about this. There is no action I can take. And in those moments, I see my dear friend Vivian in the back. We have lots of heart-to-heart conversations when we are doing our work. And one of the things she has both modeled and taught me is the idea of silently calling in the divine solution. It doesn't require any action. It doesn't require any perfect words or attachment to the problem. It's simply affirming the divine solution is present now. And then trusting, letting go any attachment or thinking about how can I say the right thing, do the right thing, nitpicking of all the things that are wrong, all the things we want different, just saying the divine solution is present now. And then I imagine either letting go, like this is holding on, this is letting go. So I'll sometimes just open my hands and gesture out like, you're free. And again, my relationship with my animals and nature helped me with that, because my dog Daisy, if I do this, she's right at my side and we're walking. A car comes, she knows, come sit down in front of me. I'm in control, right? Although she has free will. And if she didn't want to listen to me, she didn't have to. But we have a relationship where she trusts me that there's a reason and good things will be coming if she listens to me. And I have a relationship with her that I know that, so I trust her. So we practice this. But then I also have the release word, which is either free or okay in a certain tone. I don't know if she actually knows the word or just my tone, because I accidentally made okay be the release word and I say okay all the time. But she somehow knows when it means you are free to do whatever you want. And then my gesture with it is go be. And I trust that whatever she does when I give her that release word is going to be a good thing. I trust her judgment. So that's the same thing with that prayer and worry and concern and things I can't control. It's like, go do your thing. It's going to all work out. Where was I in my brain? Somewhere. Lost my thought completely. I was talking about being free and having free will. Life is full of choices. Life is full of duality, this or that. And as I was prepping for this, I was really amazed at how differently I read the same words, having not read them for a long time and then coming back. And recognizing that Jesus, in the story of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he was a rebel. Like he was not saying what the people in power wanted him to say at that time. The Sadducees and the Pharisees, who were like the top experts of everything God and religion and rules and how it was supposed to be, they did not like him. And they kept trying to trap him with questions and criticism. And sometimes he responded either by just giving them a question back. Sometimes he would just simply refuse to answer the question and be like, that's for you to figure out. This has no bearing on what I'm talking about right now. And sometimes he made a scene. Like he went into the temple and threw over tables and was like, this is not okay. Right? And that just when I look at it, because he says that the Father and I are one. And he says that you and I are one. So I did some research on the Greek word for father. Like I want to know like this original Greek word, when we say father and we say me, what does that mean? And what I came to the conclusion of in the things I was reading is that father is that symbol. We're humans, right? So we understand man and woman come together, child comes into the world. The father represents that creative source energy and provider energy, as in things are taken care of. So that's how, when I read father in the Bible, that's how I interpret that word now, is that what brought me into the world exactly as I am and what provides for me in my everyday walk. And if I look at Jesus as an example, as a way to walk in that, an example of walking in the oneness with the creative force of all that is, the source of all life and love, then I can see myself in the way Jesus did things. And I've been practicing the ways that he responded to situations, the way that he responded to criticism. He ticked people off, man. I mean, they killed him. Like, there's not much more mad than that. So it's the idea of shining our light, of walking in our truth. And later on, Peter was one of the apostles, and in First Peter, he wrote to people that we should continue to love one another. He says, now that you have purified your souls with the truth, so that you have genuine mutual love, love one another deeply from the heart. And there's a piece of this that also came to me, if I can find which one of my little tabs it is, which it talked about that there would be people, Jesus said that there will be people that will come in my name that I do not know. And he said that there would be wolves in sheep's clothing, that they would appear all love and happy and wonderful in the truth, but inside they were vile. They were not of spirit. And Galatians, let me find my shirt. Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 26 has the fruitages of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against such things. And that has been a guidepost for me in my life. Even in the time when I wasn't reading the Bible, there was a piece that I resonated with and I took with me, as far as look at how people are showing up in the world. Read their energy, feel their vibe, and discern, is this coming with fruitages of the Spirit? Or is it something else? These are the fruitages of some of the fruitages of the flesh: jealousy, anger, quarrels, dissensions, fractions, envy, drunkenness. There's more. And it's not to say that anyone that may practice those things is forever condemned and they have no value, because at our core, we are whole, perfect, and complete. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience in these little meat suits with blood pumping through our veins. But that's not who we are. We're here to have an experience with experiencing that duality of life and feeling all the feelings, the whole gamut. Jesus felt the whole gamut. He wept. He was angry. He threw fits. But there were reasons for them. There was a purpose to them. And it was with that self-control. It was with I need to make a statement so that people understand. And we're on this walk every single day, every single moment. Every 3 seconds, we can change our minds and make a different choice. So whatever your path is at this moment, I hope that, or my intention was that my story and these words would speak heart to heart, and that you would have something today that you can take forward with you to love each other a little more deeply, to love yourself a little more wholly. And I invite you to walk this walk together. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Stevie. That was really wonderful. And I hope as well, I lift up in this moment that each of us can take something from what Stevie spoke about this morning and take that with us as you go into your week. If you would like to share your resources with Unity of Des Moines, now is your opportunity to do so. We will be passing around the basket here shortly. Feel free, if you have an offering that you would like to put in, you can drop that in the basket. There are little envelopes that if you would like your offering to be tracked, put your money in that envelope with your name on it as well, so we can track that for you. And then we also accept donations via Venmo at Unity-Des Moines or through the website unitydesmoines.com. Whether your contributions are physical, energetic, or spiritual in nature, we offer this affirmation. I am
infinitely abundant. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I thankfully acknowledge the divine source.
We are Attica Road Elementals, and I need to turn my mic on. All right, we are Attica Road Elementals, and this song is called Lead Me to the Water. Thank you very much. Hopefully you guys felt that. I really feel that when I sing it. I really connect to spirit with that song. And lead me to the water is, that is a Christian, phrase you hear a lot. But it's also like, for me, it's like feeling the sunshine and just feeling life and energized and rejuvenated. And so we do have a show coming up this Saturday here at Unity, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah, hope to see some people come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stacey and John, you have music available, you're streaming music online.
On Spotify.
Right?
Yeah.
Spotify. So check that out. If you
Here
haven't.
all different.
And there's a QR code in the atrium to get to your channel.
Oh, good. There's a QR code in the atrium to get to Attica Road's channel as well. Give me one moment here. What do you know? There I am. All right. We dedicate this offering to do the work of the Spirit of Truth through the people of Unity Center of Des Moines, and we are grateful.
If you'd like to stand up, we'll do the universal greeting of peace from the Gandhi Foundation. And I will say the words and offer the hand motions, and then you can repeat them back to me line by line. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from the higher source,
Source. Source.
and I salute that source in you.
And I salute that source in you.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. That concludes our service for today. So let's gather around a big circle. We're going to sing our last song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and we'll have a couple of announcements after that. We generally hold hands to this, but if you would like to not hold hands, you want to honor those boundaries, so go ahead and put your own hands over your heart. That would be a signal to us. Thank you.
The light of the divine surrounds us. The love of the divine enfolds us. The power of the divine protects us. The presence of the divine watches over us. Wherever we are, the divine is, and all is well.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the wonderful Sunday. And don't forget, we have snacks and coffee. I know there's birthday cake out there for his birthday. Sure, too. It's not going to trust it. It's supposed to be kind of- We have meditation at 2 today, so don't forget about that if you want to be into that on meditation. And if we can have a chair, side of all, like we usually do with 2 rows of